This afternoon I'm having a bit of a wander around the west side, and I wanted to talk about Nyepi, the Balinese day of rest, or the silent day, which is coming up later this month. And it's a really interesting cultural experience if you've never experienced it before. It's an absolute must-do if you're coming to Bali. I just had someone saying hello as I was walking down the street. And this is Andy, isn't it?
Correct, Adam.
Yeah. Andy's a good bloke. He's from, I'm going to guess, Queensland? No. All right. WA.
Souther.
All right. South and then Queensland. That wouldn't, it's got to be South Australia. No.
Next one over. Victorian.
Really? You said state school. You don't say state school in Victoria.
We did it at my age.
Oh, right. Okay, here we go. I thought you called them secondary colleges in Melbourne.
No, state from prep to grade 6.
All right. Good to meet you, mate.
You enjoy it. Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah.
So getting back to my Nyepi story, basically it's the Balinese New Year, and the Balinese follow the Balinese Saka calendar, which is a little bit different to our calendar. But what happens is that Nyepi falls on around late March, early April every year. And there are two main things for most people that are really important about Nyepi. Well, most visitors. I'm not talking about Balinese. It's a lot more significant than this, but the basics are, there are two main things that we are interested in. Number one is the actual day of silence. And the next one is the Ogoh-Ogoh, the big demon beasts which represent all the evil in the world, which are just a fantastic cultural experience to go and have a look at. So I first want to talk about the day of silence, the actual Nyepi day. What happens this year on the 29th of March at 6 a.m. is that you aren't allowed outside your house. A bit like lockdown during COVID, but even more strict. You're not allowed out of your house or your hotel for the whole day, for 24 hours until the 30th at 6 a.m. as well. And what that means is you're going to have to be self-sufficient during that time. You will have to close your curtains if you've got, like if you're in a house and you've got your lights on, you have to close the curtains so there's no light coming out, because there will be people patrolling the streets, the pachalang, which are the traditional, almost like security officers of the village. They'll come around and tell you to shut your curtains if you're doing anything wrong, and got the, or if you're playing music loud or any of those things. It's got to be silent so that the Balinese people can have their day of silence without any interruption in any of the modernities that you might see normally. It also means that sometimes the internet is off. In my experience, it's a bit hit and miss. I've had it where you've had it on and you've had it off, but you know, if you're lucky, you'll have the internet still on. And food becomes problematic. Like if you're staying in an Airbnb, you can't go and order food from a restaurant. You're going to have food in your house, and you're going to have to be self-sufficient for that 24-hour period. If you're in a hotel, you'll normally have your meals provided, and then you won't have to worry about where you're going to eat. But it's also nice to have snacks and stuff, and if you like your beers, maybe go and get a few beers from the night before and have those in your room so you don't disturb anyone. But certainly, even if you're hanging out at the pool at your hotel, you can't really go overboard with the noise or celebrations or anything like that. It has to be low key, otherwise someone's going to come and tell you to keep it down. Now, just on that note, if you do leave your house or your accommodation during the day, someone's going to stop you. And every year we hear stories of people from almost certainly non-Balinese that are going out of their house or their hotel and being pulled over by the pachalang and being told to get home. And sometimes there's a little bit of an argument. So don't do that. Respect them. You can't go for a surf. You can't go for a walk along the beach or anything. There are some exceptions to it. For example, like if you were having a heart attack and you need to go to hospital, like people are understanding that you need to get to hospital and you can go there, if you've got transport or whatever to take you to hospital, you won't be accosted and stopped from doing that. People understand that there are emergencies, but for example, if you want to fly or catch a ferry somewhere, that's not going to happen. Things of convenience you're not going to be able to do, but yeah, a medical emergency, no problem. But if you need to do some administrative tasks, you better find another day to do it. The other thing about this day is on the night of the 29th, because all the lights are off all around the place, the sky becomes really bright with stars. So if you have a clear night, you'll see more stars than you've probably ever seen, except maybe in the outback of Australia or something like that. It's absolutely phenomenal to see Bali's night sky light up like that. I love it. Aside from the Day of Silence, there's the Ogoh-Ogoh. Now, the Ogoh-Ogoh are really interesting. They're these big demon beasts made of paper mache, and they're like this. You can see it right here. This is in a Balai Banjar, yeah, little room at the Banjar or the local community office. So if you look up there, this is Balai Sambangan. This is on Jalan Sukuta, yeah, and they're currently making an Ogoh-Ogoh, and they've got these Ogoh-Ogoh being built in Banjars all around Bali right now. I'm going to show you a few. So this is the first one. You can Google it. If you look up on Google that name, Balai Sambangan, you probably should get this on the map, and you can come and have a look at the progress of that particular Ogoh-Ogoh. As you get closer to the 29th of March, of course, that's going to be almost complete. Some people start theirs a little bit late and they have to rush. This one's, it's already got a face on it, so they're doing pretty well. So this is Banjar Taman Intaran, and they're currently making, it looks like a couple of different Ogoh-Ogoh here. The thing about the Ogoh-Ogoh is that what happens on the night before, on the 28th of March, is they get paraded to the nearest intersection or a main intersection nearby. And this Banjar's got a couple on the go, and they're at a pretty good stage at the moment. There's a heap of the youth down here working on it at the moment. They're currently making the bottom frame, I think. Oh, this one's awesome. That's got a lobster tail. Look at that. These guys go crazy. Oh, it's just good fun down here, like lots of positivity. Yeah, they make a big frame down there. And what they'll do, they mount that thing, that big Ogoh-Ogoh on the frames. We've got two different ones here. They'll mount it on there, and then they'll have all the guys lifting it up and parading it through the streets, swinging it around in circles and that sort of thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that, that's got some claws as hands. That's unreal as well. I mean, I love it. One there with the lobster tail, come down there, and that's got like big claws on it as well. I mean, that's pretty cool. The artistic ability of these people is incredible. Look at that. That's got like octopus tentacles on it. That's pretty cool. And then there's that thing. That looks like a chameleon or an axolotl, actually. It looks like more of like an axolotl, that is a really good one. A really good one. So on Google, this is actually listed as Banjar Taman Intaran, but up there you can see it's Banjar Taman Sari. It's the one directly across from the McDonald's on the road that goes to Denpasar. So the McDonald's intersection comes alive in Sanur during Nyepi or the night before Nyepi, because what happens is all the Ogoh-Ogoh from all around the area head towards that intersection and go and spin around that intersection, and it's almost like a performance. It's absolutely phenomenal to see the energy and the excitement in the air when that happens. It starts, look, anywhere between 6 and 9 p.m. Timing's always a little bit flexible with these things, but that's something you must do. If you're here on the 28th of March this year, or the night before Nyepi any year, you must go down to the McDonald's intersection to see the Ogoh-Ogoh be paraded around there, because it's just one of these cultural experiences you can't miss. Now, I'm at Banjar Sindhu Kalod, yeah, and this is on Jalan Pungutan. And they have an Ogoh-Ogoh ready to roll. Look at this one. That is an unbelievable work of art with all these Balinese traditional clothing down below. You've got the big demon beast up there with big fangs and tusks. And look at the eyes. The eyes are just hollowed out. They're absolutely fantastic. Big fingernails, I love those. And it's just wonderful. Just a wonderful, wonderful piece of art. I really love to see them because of that sort of art part of it. It's just something I really appreciate. The amount of work that goes into there But also the creativity to have the sort of foresight to come up with something like that is just brilliant. It's something far above what I would be able to do. So this is a really good one to have a look at. Already complete. Banjar Sindhu Kalod. And Banjar Sindhu Kalod is on Jalan Pungutan. So I'm going to walk from Banjar Sindhu Kalod to Banjar Sindhu Kaja, which is just up Jalan Pungutan and then onto Jalan Danau Toba. So that's going back up towards Sindhu Night Market and the Sindhu Beach area. I'm just going to walk up there. I'm just going to walk up there and explain Kasanga Fest. So Kasanga Fest is a big festival in Denpasar, and it's hosted by the Denpasar government. So Denpasar is a kota, or a city, and underneath that city there are a bunch of kecamatan. There are 4 kecamatan, and those kecamatan each submit their best Ogoh-Ogoh, and they all get submitted to the government, and those 4 from each kecamatan equals 16 of the best Ogoh-Ogoh in all of Denpasar city, and Sanur is part of Denpasar. And all of those Ogoh-Ogoh get paraded in the centre of Denpasar in Puputan Badung. Now that's on the 21st to the 23rd, and the exact night of that particular parade you're probably going to have to Google, but basically on that night you'll see the very best that Denpasar has to offer, and it's an absolutely wonderful cultural experience that you should try and get to. You might have to get a cab or something like that, but once you get there and have a look at it, there's lots of waiting around and standing. Once you get there, it's just incredible to see the amount of work that goes into these things. There's people that have motorised their Ogoh-Ogoh, and they're just massive and extremely creative. A truly wonderful Balinese cultural experience that you shouldn't miss. So here we are at Banjar Sindhu Kaja, and they've got a couple being made at the moment. They don't have heads on yet. Big demons there. They're actually quite a long way through making them. And look at those. I mean, they're pure evil, even without the heads on. Big, long, ugly toenails. I mean, God, they're like your grandfather's toenails from the old days. I mean, it's just so cool. So cool. So this one you can easily get to as well, right in the heart of the action here in Sanur. So come down to this one as well, because you'll see that progress as the days and weeks go by. And if you come in a different year, you'll obviously see the progress as the days go by as well. So apart from these fantastic Ogoh-Ogoh here in Sanur, there are actually some villages and banjar all around Denpasar that are really famous for the best, or some of the best Ogoh-Ogoh. And every year before the actual parades, as they're completing their Ogoh-Ogoh, people go and have a look at these almost completed Ogoh-Ogoh in the Banjar. The 2 that I know are Banjar Gumma and Banjar Tainsia. They've got fantastic Ogoh-Ogoh, and I went there last year. I went to a few others as well, which are just fantastic. And you'll find that the locals will get on their motorbikes and go from each one to the other one. But while we're showing you ones here in Sanur, I'm at Banjar Anda. This one is sort of half completed. I mean, this is a big beast here. And I reckon that one's going to be a good one to look at as well as the days and weeks go by. So make sure you come and have a look at this during this progress of being made, because it's a big one and it will be a fantastic one as well. Look, I really love this aspect of Bali, this tradition, this cultural heritage. It's really important that it's kept alive, and the Balinese do a really good job of that. And I think we as tourists really need to appreciate some of this cultural heritage as well, so that it keeps alive, keeps vibrant, and that it can be seen for future generations, because this is what makes Bali unique and Bali special. So when Nyepi comes around this year, make sure you're down at McDonald's, make sure you have a look at the preparations, or even get down to the Kasanga Fest. Whatever you choose to do, you'll have a great time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur. I'll catch you next time.